All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that honestly is the cornerstone of online marketing, your email list. Yeah, I know, our inboxes are crazy full, but a well-managed list, it is still the single most valuable asset for any coach or small business. Let's get into why that is. So let's start by looking at two totally different ways to do marketing. On one side, you've got interruption marketing. You know what this is. It's the TV ad that cuts into your favorite show. It's the credit card offer in your mailbox. It's that annoying pop-up that blocks the article you're trying to read. But on the other side, you have permission marketing, and that's your newsletter. That's where people have asked to hear from you. And that difference, well, it's everything. And that brings us to a really crucial idea for anyone doing business online. The difference between building on rented land versus land you actually own. See, when you build your audience on social media, you're just a tenant. You're renting space, it might feel like it's yours, but the landlord can change the rules or even kick you out whenever they feel like it. And here's the thing about rented land. It has rules you don't control. This quote is a perfect, maybe a little shocking example. A simple joke between friends gets flagged by an algorithm and boom, a business account gets suspended twice. You're completely at the mercy of policies that you have absolutely zero say in.
And you know, this isn't just a hypothetical. It's a reminder that even the biggest platforms can just fade away. Remember MySpace? I mean, for a minute there, it was the social universe. Or Friends Reunited? These were digital giants. Now, they're basically footnotes in internet history. If your entire business was built on one of those, it would have disappeared right along with them.
But your email list, that's totally different. It's an asset you truly 100% own. You can download it, you can move it to a different provider, and no algorithm, no platform change can ever take it away from you. It is the only stable, reliable foundation you can really build your online business on.
Okay, so what happens when you take that ownership and you mix it with permission? The results can be absolutely incredible. Let's take a look at the sheer power that comes from someone willingly giving you their attention. You're going to see a number on the screen that might just blow your mind. Some marketing sources report a return on investment for email that is just staggering. Get this. For every single dollar you spend, you could see a return of $37. I mean, that number alone shows you how powerful this can be. Now, I love this next part because it brings a dose of reality. Is that 3,700% number, maybe a little high? Yeah, probably. But here's the thing. It doesn't even matter because even a tiny fraction of that return is still going to blow most other marketing channels out of the water. It is an undeniable win, no matter how you slice it. See, it all boils down to one thing: trust. When somebody gives you their email address, they're not just giving you some contact info. They're raising their hand and saying, hey, I think you might have something valuable for me. And your job from that exact moment on is simply to honor that trust. And this is where you see the long game pay off in a huge way. Just think about this for a second. A client decided to sign up for a service after being on an email list, reading the content, building that trust for 14 years. That kind of deep, long-term relationship is just impossible to build in the chaotic, fast-moving world of a social media feed. All right, so if the why is crystal clear, let's get into the how. How do you actually do this? Well, building a really good list comes down to two essential tools that work together to turn a casual visitor into a true fan. Okay, first up is what we call a lead magnet. You can think of this as your ethical bribe. It has to be something genuinely valuable, a resource so good that people are actually happy to trade their email address to get it. This is your first big chance to really wow them. And look, this can't be some throwaway thing you whipped up in 5 minutes. A recycled blog post just is not going to cut it. A great lead magnet, like an in-depth ebook, a quiz that reveals something about them, a special video series, it has to have real standalone value. It needs to solve a real problem for them and, right away, position you as an expert they can trust. So, you've got this amazing lead magnet. How do you actually get it to people? Well, we have to talk about our second tool, the dreaded pop-up. I know, we all say we hate them, but the simple, undeniable truth is they work. And why? Because unlike a little sign-up form that's buried way down in the footer of your website, a pop-up demands to be seen. But get seen doesn't have to mean is annoying, right? A smart pop-up isn't about just blasting people. It's about being targeted. For example, you can set a timer so the offer only shows up after someone's been reading your content for, say, 90 seconds. That's a pretty clear sign they're engaged. Or if they move their mouse to leave the page, you can have an exit intent pop-up make a totally different offer, giving you one last chance to connect. Okay, this next part might sound a little backwards. Once you start building your list, the goal isn't just to get the biggest number you can. The real goal is to build the right list. I mean, this chart just says it all, doesn't it? The difference in value is huge. A small, focused list of 100 superfans who actually open and read your emails is way, way more valuable than a giant list of 10,000 people who just hit delete without even thinking. So really, the big takeaway here is this. Stop chasing vanity metrics. The number of subscribers you have doesn't really matter. The health of your business depends on the quality of your audience's attention, not the sheer quantity of names you've managed to collect. And it gets worse. A big, unengaged list can actually hurt you badly. Because email providers like Gmail and Outlook, they're smart. They watch your open rates. And if they see that a huge chunk of people are just ignoring your emails, their algorithms start to think you might be a spammer. And just like that, your really valuable messages start getting sent straight to the spam folder for everyone. Okay, so you've built a quality list. Now what? Well, now comes the most important part, nurturing that relationship with consistent, high-value content. This is where you play the long game, and one of the absolute best ways to do this is with something called a nurture sequence. It's basically an automated series of your greatest hits, your best emails, that every single new subscriber gets. This makes sure that their first impression of you is amazing. They get your absolute best stuff right away, which builds that deep trust long before you ever think about asking for a sale. I love this quote from Seth Godin because it just nails the whole idea of nurturing. You don't sit around waiting for a brilliant idea to strike. You show up. You show up consistently. And that very act, that discipline, is what generates the great ideas and builds your authority over time. And that's really the heart of it all, you know? Don't ever worry about giving away too much good stuff. The more you genuinely help people solve their problems, the more they will see you as an expert, as someone they can trust. And when that day comes that they need to hire someone like you, who do you think they're going to call? So let's bring it all home. We've talked about how your email list is your most valuable, most stable business asset. It's the only piece of your digital world that you truly own. So the real question, the one you need to ask yourself is, are you treating it that way?